Some recipes are inherited through family, others arrive through friendship. Red beans and rice came into my life because of a college friend from Louisiana named Scott. Today we're making a version shared with me by another friend I've made through writing, Lauren, and I love that recipes can travel like that. Let's get cooking. One of the best parts about writing on Substack has been meeting people from all over the country. Lauren grew up in Louisiana, and when I asked if she'd share one of her family's recipes, she graciously said yes. It's a humble dish consisting of beans, smoked sausage, and rice. There are many variations of the classic, but we landed on this one, and it's superb. The first step is sometimes optional, but for this recipe, it's important to follow it to the letter. The beans we use, small, dry, red beans, are sorted for debris and then covered with water by about 2 knuckles or 2 inches and left to soak overnight. The next day, we pour the beans into a strainer and wash them with cold water before returning them to the same bowl. You'll notice that they double in size and are much softer. If you've ever cooked French food, this is Louisiana's version of a mirepoix. Onion, celery, and bell pepper are the foundation of countless Cajun and Creole dishes. We prep them in a rustic way by chopping the bell peppers, onions, and celery to roughly the same size. The pepper is cut into strips and then diced, and the same is done with the celery. And finally, a large yellow onion is diced. The proportions are about 1:1 to 2, with the onions being the largest part. Next, we mince a couple large cloves of garlic and then get to work on the andouille sausage. I cut them into half moons and then set those aside and chop up the same amount of smoked ham. Finally, I slice up some bacon into lardons, a fancy name for strips. Then I set all the meat aside, wash the board, chop up some parsley, and then get ready to cook. In a cold, small stock pot or Dutch oven, I add the bacon and start cooking over medium heat. Once the bacon has rendered out its fat and crisped up, I use a slotted spoon and set it aside to a paper towel-lined plate. Next, I add the sausage to the pot. I do this separately because overcrowding the pot not only slows down cooking, but also tends to steam what you're cooking rather than browning it. Just like the bacon, we transfer the sausage to the paper towel-lined plate. By this time, there will be a lot of rendered fat in the pot. To that, we then add the chopped onions, celery, and bell pepper. Stirring periodically, we cook the trinity until it's soft. This takes about 5 or so minutes. Next comes the garlic, and it's cooked until fragrant, which only takes about 1 minute. In go the beans and the meats. First the sausage and bacon, followed by the ham. Next up, about half the chopped parsley and bay leaf. Homemade stock is then poured in, and finally dried thyme and oregano are added. Please note, this as well as many other recipes from the region aren't seasoned with salt and pepper until later. The stew is then stirred and left to simmer, uncovered for about 2 hours until it reaches the desired thickness. Be sure to stir occasionally. After a couple hours of cooking, and the beans are cooked to your desired doneness, fish out the bay leaves and using a wooden spoon, smash a few beans on the side of the pot to add texture and some more thickness. At this point, the beans are seasoned to taste with salt and pepper. Optionally, Lauren suggests Cajun seasoning. Red beans and rice is served over white rice. We use a large spoon and add a healthy amount to each bowl of rice. Then we garnish with chopped green onions and the rest of the parsley. It's then topped with hot sauce for heat. Lauren told me your grandfather always stirred a scoop of mayonnaise into his. She prefers vinegar. Recipes evolve. That's part of what makes them special. Every time I make red beans and rice, I think about my friend Scott. I think about Louisiana. That's one of the things I love most about cooking. Recipes carry more than ingredients. They carry people. If you like to read the full story behind how this recipe found its way into my kitchen, I've written about it on Substack. I'll leave the link below along with Lauren's original recipe. Thanks for watching, and please remember, great minds eat alike.